talking about today is Advanced Pre-Algebra, Unit 2, Lesson 4, Applications of Two-Step Equations. Here's the homework. Note that in number 1, those are all division symbols. And then here's some upcoming events. All right. I want you to do this warm-up. I would recommend pausing the video at this point and doing the warm-up. All right. What can I factor out? What's the common factor here? 5. So we're undoing the distributive property. I'm going to divide these both by 5.
These freshman football players should have been dismissed already and ready for a 2:20 departure. Thank you.
5x divided by 5 is just x, because 5 divided by 5 is 1. 50 divided by x is positive 10. So there's my answer, and if I use the distributive property, I would get what I started with. What can I factor out here? I can factor out a 2. So I'm going to divide these both by 2. 8x divided by 2 is 4x. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1, so minus 1. And again, if you use the distributive property, you'll get what you ended up, you'll get what you started with. What's the greatest common factor here? It's 15. So if I divide these both by 15, I will end up with x plus 2 in parentheses. Using the distributive property, I'll get what I started with. What can I factor out here? A 2. Divide these both by 2, and I will get 2x minus 3. Again, pause the video, do this problem. All right, a total of 102,799 people attended the Penn State football game last weekend. If the average ticket cost $21.45, about how much did the school take in? We're estimating. So I'm going to round this to 100,000 times, I'm going to round this to 21. Those are easy numbers to multiply in your head. 1 times 21 is 21, and I'm going to add 5 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I end up with 2,110,000. And you could estimate a little bit differently than me. Like you could have rounded that to 102, you could have rounded that to 20. But as long as you show your work, it'll be a decent estimate. Again, pause your video. I'm going to put C is 13 speeches and D is 19 speeches. Pause and work this out. Now, let's go over this. Students in the English classes were giving speeches. Each student's speech was 7 to 10 minutes long. Which of the following is the best estimate of the total number of speeches that could be given in a 2-hour-long class? Well, let's find our both extremes. 2 hours is 120 minutes. If every kid takes 10 minutes, 120 divided by 10 is 12 speeches. If every kid takes 7 minutes, 120 divided by 7. If I do this, 120 divided by 7, 50, 17 speeches. So, if every speech is as short as possible, they could get in about 17. If every speech is as long as possible, they could get in 12. So, what do you think the best estimate would be here? 13. It's really the only one that's in that window. All right. Miss Romano, pause again and do this. Miss Romano used 2 1/4 cups or cans of chicken broth to make soup. Each can contains 7 3/4 ounces of broth.
Charles 0, please report to the office for dismissal. Charles 0, 0, 0 to the office for dismissal.
What's the total number? So I have 2 1/4 cans. Each can has 7 3/4. So I'm going to multiply 2 1/4 times 7 3/4. To multiply mixed numbers, you need to change them to improper. So this will be 9 fourths times 31 fourths. I cannot simplify it all, so I'll have 9 times 31 is 279 over 16. How many times does 16 go into 279? 17, and the remainder is going to be 7/16. So 17 and 7/16 number 8 in your notes. All right, Aaliyah had $24 to spend on 7 pencils. After buying them, she had $10 left. How much did each pencil cost? Well, when you set this up, the first thing we need to do is define our variable. We're going to let x equal the cost of each pencil. So, Aaliyah had 24 to spend on 7 pencils. So, she bought 7 pencils. They're X dollars each. After buying them, she had $10 left. So, plus 10. This is the cost of the pencils, plus 10. She had $24 total to start with. So, let's solve this. Subtract 10 from both sides. 7x equals 14. Divide both sides by 7. X equals 2. Now, you could use it, set up a different equation. I could do it this way. 24 minus the cost of the pencil, 7x, equals 10, is what she had left. And if you solve that, you're going to get the same exact thing. How old am I? There. 400 reduced by 2 times my age is 244. So, let's let x equal my age. That's what I don't know. How old am I if 400 reduced by 2 times my age, so reduced minus 2x is 244, equals 244. Solve this. Subtract 400 from both sides, and I get negative 2x, this is a negative 2x, equals negative 156. Divide both sides by negative 2, I end up with x is 78 years old. For a field trip, 4 students rode in a van, and the rest filled 9 buses. How many students were in each bus if 472 students were on the trip? So let x equal the number in each bus. That's what we're looking for. Define your variable, what you're looking for, what you don't know. So, there were 9 buses with x kids each, so that's 9 times x. 9 buses, x kids each. Plus, there were 4 kids that rode in a van, and the total that went on the trip is 472. So, subtract 4 from both sides, and we get 9x is 468. Divide both sides by 9, and x is 52. So 52 students per bus. The 21st century living class made some pies for a basketball game to raise money for iPads. The cafeteria contributed 4 pies to the sale. Each pie was cut into 5 pieces and sold. There were a total of 60 pieces to sell. How many pies did the club make? So let's say, let x equal the number of pies the club made. Now, I think this problem can be a little confusing because they are selling them by the piece, and they are cutting the pie into 5 pieces. So the club made X pies, they cut them into 5 pieces each. So the club's pieces is 5 times x, because that's the number of pies times 5. Now, it says the cafeteria gave them 4 pies. But, think about it. 4 pies cut into 5 pieces each would be 20 pieces. 4 pies, 5 pieces each. 4 times 5 is 20. And how many pieces did they sell? They had 60 pieces to sell. 60 pieces. So you need to make sure that this is pieces. There we go. Subtract 20 from both sides, and I get 5x is 40. Divide both sides by 5. X is 8 pies. Example 5. Chuck jogged the same distance on Tuesday and Friday, and also jogged 8 miles on Saturday, or Sunday, for a total of 20 miles for the week. How many miles did Chuck jog on Tuesday? So, let x total the number of miles on Tuesday. Let's write an equation. He jogged the same distance Tuesday and Friday, and 8 miles on Sunday, for a total of 20. So, Tuesday is X, Friday, same distance, X, plus Sunday is 8, for a total of 20. Now, this is the first time we saw a problem like this. 1x plus 1x is 2x plus 8 equals 20. Subtract 8 from both sides. 2x is 12. Divide both sides by 2. X is 6. So, 6 miles on Tuesday.